particularly when physical evidence cannot easily be brought to the courtroom. And the purpose and procedure. The primary purpose of an inspection in law court is to help the court to understand the evidence, including oral testimony and real evidence presented during the trial. It allows the court to observe the scene or object firsthand, potentially resolving conflicting accounts or interpretation of the evidence. Now, the next observation, my lord, is just what happens at the inspection in the court. Says the court should meticulously record its observations during the inspection, allowing both parties to comment on them. This is now the state and the defense. Says further, the inspection is a supplementary tool and should not replace the need for proper evidence gathering and presentation. And another observation, important observation, my lord, is that the court's observations during the inspection becomes part of the report and are crucial for a fair and transparent process. And the other observation is equally important, my lord. There is access and limitations. Inspections are typically conducted at the scene of the incident or where the relevant object is located. The court may be accompanied by parties to the case, witnesses, and relevant experts to ensure proper understanding. And the court's observation should be interpreted in light of the evidence presented and the arguments made by both sides. That, in short, my lord, is the purpose of today's exercise.
Okay. Yeah, let Mr. Jonas apprise the gentlemen of what has transpired before they came in.
Ngaphambi kokuthi ningeneke inkantolo isinikeze ithuba kubameli kanye nomshushisi ukuthi bashoke ukuthi sihlangene ngani namuhla. Usukumileke uadvocate Mnisi wathi nanjengoba-ke esho noma ashilo umnumzane uSibiya phambi kwale nkantolo ukuthi-ke kuyindawo ethizeni la athathwa amishwa kuyona-ke la ashaywa khona. Sikhuluma ngamalanga amabili-ke la i-30 zikaMeyi kanye ne-5 zikaJuni. Ukuthi-ke kune-sport esithize-ke manje-ke sicela ukuthi-ke sihambe kuhanjwe-ke kuleyo ndawo la ekuzoba kuyena-ke umnumzane uSibiya-ke ozosho-ke ukuthi-ke yila engashayelwa khona. Wakusho-ke nokuthi akanaso isiqinisekiso sokuthi-ke ukusuka la ePitori ukuya kuleyo ndawo umnumzane uSibiya uba kusimo yini noma uzokwazi yini ukuthi-ke asho-ke ukuthi akuhanjwe kanjani noma-ke kusuke lana kuhanjwe kuyiwe la ekungenwa khona noma-ke phecelezi-ke entrance yakhona ephosphorus bese-ke ukusuka lapho iwe-ke kuleyo ndawo leyo ekula khona-ke umnumzane uSibiya ezosho khona-ke ezoyikhomba-ke indawo le akhuluma ngayo. Ukushilo ukuthi khona-ke kusafanele akuxazululeke noma-ke akhulumisane naye-ke umnumzane uSibiya ukuthi nje kucace ukuthi-ke uzokwazi yini ukuthi-ke akhombise noma-ke akhombe indlela. Usukumile-ke ubaba uDamusipile ezama ukuthi alekeleleke yena-ke ubaba uMnisi ngokuthi-ke okokuqala umnumzane uSibiya washo ukuthi wasuswa eValeria wahanjiswa waya e-Albertine bese kusuka lapho-ke la ekwayiwa kuleyo ndawo le athi kuyoyona ashayelwa kuyona. Sikhuluma ngazo i-5 zikaJuni bese kuthi ngeyi-30 wasuka-ke ethembisa ukuya ephosphorus. Umnumzane uNomali uthe cha akukho yena-ke angakusho lodaba naye-ke u-advocate Mshololo bese sukuma-ke u-advocate uBaloyi echazela-ke manje inkantolo nomuntu wonke ukuthi-ke ukhona-ke umthetho omayelana-ke nalo daba lolu okukhulunywe ngalo namuhla waseke eshoke ukuthi-ke usection 169 ka-51 kuya no-1977 ivumela-ke inkantolo ukuthi-ke iye kuleyo ndawo leyo ekukhulunywa ngayo ukuthi-ke ikuzwisise kahle ubufakazi uma kuwukuthi-ke kukhona la ekungaziwana khona noma-ke ekuphikiswana khona-ke futhi-ke lokho kuhambisana nalo icala uma kukhona-ke ekuphikiswana ngabo ukuxazulula lokho-ke ukufanele kuyiweke kwenziwe lokho kubizwa ukuthi phecelezi-ke iyona-ke i-inspection ikakhulukazi-ke uma kuwukuthi-ke ubufakazi lokho akusuwona ubufakazi okungakwazi ukuthi-ke kuze phambi kwenkantolo inkantolo ikubone nokuthi futhi-ke kuxazululeke ubufakazi lobo nokuthi konke uma sekufika lapho phambili-ke konke okubonwayo noma uma kukhonjwa-ke kufanele kubhalwe phansi yonke into futhi-ke nokuthi-ke inkantolo ivumeleke ishushisi kanye futhi nabameli uma kukhona abafisa ukusho ibanikeze lelo thuba lelo ukuthi bakusho-ke naloko inkantolo ebonayo laphayana kuyona-ke inspection kufanele nabo kube yingxenye yobufakazi obuphambi kwayo inkantolo nokuthi uyasho-ke ukuthi obaniki abavumelekileyo ukuthi bahambeke noma baye kuyona-ke inspection yilabo abayingxenye yalo-ke icala lelo eliqhulwayo phambi kwenkantolo nokuthi futhi okwenzekayo khona lapho kufanele kuvunyiswe noma-ke kuxoliwe.
Yeah. Procedurally, the state and the defense, I'm only aware of 2 witnesses, unless you say there are others. The Brigadier Keninda and Mr. Sibia. Because the incident, yes, I understand the evidence, apparently affects only them. I know that initially before Keninda, Brigadier, came onto the scene, it was Mokhane who was there. Are you going to pursue it? Mokhola, sorry. Are you going to pursue it? You must tell me how you want to pursue it. How many witnesses is Nana with?
She will be there as well.
She will be there.
If the court gives its blessing, yes.
Yeah, because it's now 2 incidences. When we adjourned, it was apparently 1, you remember? But today they say it's 2 incidences. The first one is the 5th of June, and the other one is the 30th of, is the other way actually.
Yes.
The 30th of May.
Yes.
And the 5th of June.
But it's the same spot.
Yeah, fine. Yes. But the actors, are they the same?
Well, I think they'll have to clarify that. But as far as I'm concerned, in essence, yes. The participants will be the same. But as I say, subject to confirmation.
Okay, fine. Yes, Mr. Minister. Your witnesses.
As it is a court, my lord, it will only be Mr. Sibia.
Mr. Sibia?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Inkantolo iphazulula isigaba lokufaka njengakhulunyiwe ngofakazi usiyaphendula-ke advocate umnisi ukuthi cha kuzoba umnumzane Sibia phakathi namagama uyena-ke ozoba ufakazi ozosho noma ozokhomba.
Any other thing arising from what we've just said you want to place on record?
As it is a
Issue.
court, my lord, I don't have anything. I would have requested the indulgence to approach.
Yeah,
Mr.
you said you wanted to approach your client. You can do so.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the indulgence, my lord. Mr. Sivia says from here we need to take the R21 to the airport. I think it's R21 North, and then from the airport, and then from the R21 we are going to join N12. From N12, then we will be joining the N3, and then we'll be driving up until we see the Fosslores off-ramp, and then we get into the Fosslores Township. From Fosslores, as we drive into the Fosslores Township, he says he would then start to give direction to the people who will be with him in the car. But in a sense, he is saying we need to drive to that Gold Spot shopping complex, but particularly the municipal offices, the municipality offices at that shopping complex. And then from there, we need to stop, and then he will walk us to exactly the spot where he says he was assaulted.
Yeah, okay. Except that the security details of how we get there will be conducted by the security complement, because those arrangements have already been made. Am I correct, Mr. Baloi? Yes. How we get there, maybe they're going to give us a helicopter, I don't know. Yeah, so can they adjourn a bit, and then we have the security guys coming in to come in. Can you explain to the gentlemen that for security reasons they must adjourn, and then the security complement will come and brief the court how we get there and what we're going to do and how we're going to travel.
Umuko ukuthi-ke babonise esetshele inkantolo ukuthola bona-ke ukuthi sizohamba kanjani kuyofika khona laphaya le ndawo sikhuluma ngayo, nangokushilo ukuthi kusuka la sizohamba ngo-R21 ku-N12 u-N3 bese siyongena-ke Fosslores off-ramp bese siyangena-ke elokishini khona. Ukusuka lapho usuzosho-ke wena ukuthi uhambe kanjani. Inkantolo ithi-ke okuzokwenzeka-ke manje ukuthi-ke nizothatha-ke mina-ke bese niyahanjiswa yezansi bese kuthi laba-ke okuyibona abazohola-ke noma bazosho ukuthi kuzohanjwa kanjani bazobe sebengena-ke ngaphakathi enkantolo sebetshela inkantolo-ke ukuthi-ke kuzohanjwa kanjani ukuthi kuyofikwa-ke khona lapho. Kodwa manje-ke okuzokwenzeka-ke ukuthi bazohamba nani banise ezansi ngaphambi kokuthi bangene-ke lapho kufanele ukuthi bangene bazotshela inkantolo. Siyabonga.
What is your submission?
Well, this is largely the request of the defense, so I think we need to be guided by them. But we don't really have an objection.
Yes.
I think it's a call that must be made by other people.
Yes, Mr. Mdntv, what should we do about the media?
Thank you, my lord. Insofar as the security briefing is concerned, I'm of the view that it should only be the court personnel.
It should only be
the court personnel. In other words, the court himself, members of the court, which are the defense team, probably the security cluster, to the exclusion of the media house. Well, insofar as them being at the place of the inspection in Doko, that could be their own taking. But for purposes of the security briefing, I'm of the view that they should excuse us. Thank you.
Yeah, let's hear the media's view.
Good morning, my lord. I'm Crisalda Lewis from SABC Television News. We just briefed our colleagues just a few moments ago due to the sensitivities of the briefing which you will receive relating to the security measures that all cameras will be switched off now.
That's okay, fine.
Thank you, madam.
But the court can't disbar the media from attending the court as it sits at Fos Luras. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, indeed, my lord.
Yeah. How they get there, but when they are there, they are accredited. You remember the order we made on the 7th of July, 2023, is it? You've forgotten?
It's not, these days, it forms part of the record. It's actually an exhibit, an addendum to the...
Yeah, quite.
The only request...
Yeah, at this stage, the media should excuse us. Okay, fine.
Particularly when physical evidence cannot easily be brought to the courtroom, and the purpose and procedure. The primary purpose of an inspection in loco is to help the court to understand the evidence, including oral testimony and real evidence presented during the trial. It allows the court to observe the scene or object firsthand, potentially resolving conflicting accounts or interpretation of the evidence. Now, the next observation, my lord, is as to what happens at the inspection in
Yeah.
loco. Says the court should meticulously record its observations during the inspection, allowing both parties to comment on them. This is now the state and the defense. Says further, the inspection is a supplementary tool and should not replace the need for proper evidence gathering and presentation. And another observation, important observation, my lord, is that the post observations during the inspection becomes part of the record and are crucial for a fair and transparent process. And the other observation is equally important, my lord. That is access and limitations. Inspections are typically conducted at the scene of the incident or where the relevant object is located. The court may be accompanied by parties to the case, witnesses, and relevant experts to ensure.
Is my phone on by any chance?
No, I'm not sure. It must be a laptop. I mean, I think it'll be live. chance you can come to a left. Yeah, you can come.
Not even on.
Fine. Ngena.
Ngena. Stakile futhi phambili.
Ngahlala behind this BM in ama-blue lights. How's it there?
Now we are free. Is there a truck, Emily? That's okay, this is slow. I know. Okay. We need to do something. So blue lights akahambi nathi kanti. Shit. Uyababona yini? Oh, ngiyasho thina emsebenzini.
Oh no. Eh.
Yeah, no, so I got to put that again. That's what I did again. Stay too close because I'm gonna take 3 years that I they haven't offered anything. Yeah, Baba.
Yeah, give up one.
Ay, Agas Marcela, guys. Northwest.
To this location, he's expected to point out exactly what happened when he says he was assaulted. What happened at that location? Is that the location that he has been taken to? And in fact, during the court proceedings this morning, which were very brief, he was asked by his lawyer, Advocate Charles Mnisi, whether he would be able to point out this area, and he did indicate that yes, we will will follow a particular direction. It will take us to this particular area, but of course it is described as a municipal area. So we'll tell you a bit more about that on our arrival at that particular area. But of course, this inspection in loco is something that, even the Judge Rata Mokgotleng, was the presiding judge in this matter, had asked whether it was necessary, given the fact that there were aerial photographs, and those aerial photographs basically show this particular area. But because Advocate Charles Mnisi, who is his legal representative, has indicated that at this particular point, those aerial photographs are not enough, basically. And basically that the description that the lead investigator, Brigadier Bongani Kininda, is giving is different to that of accused number one. He felt that this inspection in loco is something that needed to take place. So we're expected to hear from Musi Sibiya once we get to that location. He will tell us in detail once again what he claims happened at that location, how he was assaulted, what did police do, and also remember, it's 2 occasions that he claims he had been assaulted. This is on the 30th of May 2020, on the day that he was arrested, and on the 5th of June 2020, on the day that this alleged confession was taken at the Dipkloof police station in Soweto.
Sergeant, don't take it far. My person like that.
Wait.
Ready? Where you can see a shot. Can you see a shot from here? Fuck's sake.
You can't be moving around like this. You're crossing the road, uncle. Just park there front where you want to. I have to find out.
Listen to me, guys. Live you 6. Stella. Live you 6.
Hey, you lost.
Can see. There's the accused, you can see him. Oh, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Oh, zoom in. Zoom in, there's the accused. There's the accused, there. Zoom in, zoom in. There he is. There's the accused. Yo, guys. Yo, I'm in trouble. Yes. 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 All right, so what we're witnessing at this point is the accused have been brought here to this first location, of course, where accused number one, Muzi Sibila, does claim that he was assaulted by police. You'd recall on the days, which is the 30th of May 2020, as well as the 5th of June 2020. You'd recall, of course, that some of the accusations that he made against police was that he was also forced to sign. He was also forced to sign a confession and coerced into signing a prepared statement. So that is our going forward. You didn't even get a shot in China Loom to Puma Lapayan. Saying in bullet. Une phone number kabani? Let's just make sure. Awuna inamba kashato? Ekaronewa? Send me Shadow's number on Stella's phone. Shadow, you know Shadow? Or Shakira. Or Shakira. Guys, how did you even...
visuals. People are live. Hello? Hi, Ronewa. Yeah, do you have the number? Yeah, please, it's quite urgent. Please, on this number. Hey, yo.
Thank you very much. Ufuna le. Ole. Ngapha wami. Sana iko nkulu. Mara eyenziwa kuziwa kuziwa kuziwa. So, ngizole. Sikwenza ukuthi ukhuluma la ngakhale. Ngane wayi. Kai wayi. Ngane. Hey. Wathi hayi ubaba. Uvusa abantwana.
Open. I'll reverse because bank blockade the phone. I'll tell you what to stop.
Even
This is what is known as the Golden Spot. It's an area that encompasses a lot of offices in their different formats. So upon our arrival here, we were at one part of the area within the Golden Spot, and then went to ask him if he's now in a position to show where alleged assault on him on the 30th of May and also on the 5th of June took place. The spot where alleged assault took place, yes. And then he said no, he would be able to point to the area, and as he was pointing, we realized that he was pointing to this direction, and then he also undertook to walk us to exactly the spot where the alleged assault took place. Okay. He has been showing the team of the defense around here, but for context, I think it would be best for him to show exactly where the assault took place and the motor vehicle that accompanied him, or that way involved on that day. Officers were also packed. We'll start with the date of the 30th so that we do not conflate issues. The 30th of May, when they were from Fosnore, that is the day on which I was arrested, when they were from Tembisa. Exactly where the assault took place. I wonder if this can be interpreted.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Swear, kanye futhi ke nabanye uyasho ke advocate umnisi ukuthi le ndawo ke ibizwa ngokuthi i-Golden Spot bese kunqanyeke ngale yayo ke la abakhulumisene nawe khona ke uthe manje ukhulumisana ke kwanala ukhomba khona ke ingakho sesifike khona lana ke ukukhuluma futhi babameli kanye nawe umuntu nendawo ke ukuyikhomba khomba kodwa ke uzocela ke yena besho nje kodwa kuzocela wena ukuthi kube uwena umuntu ke le ndawo ukuzisho khona ke abameli ukuthi ke uyikhombe kanye futhi ke nemoto ubatshelile nangemoto kwakuyingxenye futhi yethimba lelo elalikhona ngalelo langa.
With the name of court, I would therefore request Mr. Swear to point where this whole incident happened. I've been informed by the statement that currently there's a gentleman who's a photographer. We've agreed that we don't have an objection that he takes photograph of him as he pointed.
Is he a policeman?
Yeah, he's a photographer.
Is he a policeman?
Yes, he is.
He's a draftsman, yes. It's from the police services.
Yeah, fine. If it's an officer, fine.
Isecela advocate umnisi ukuthi ngokuvunyelwa inkantolo kube uyaqala ke ukhomba sikhona ke nesicelo ukuthi ke ukhona umhlobo weyithombe wasemaphoyiseni kuye bavumelene ke ukuthi ke angaqhubeka ngokuthula ithombe usebenzela amaphoyisa.
Mr. Swear, you then requested, the court has given you permission to go and point where taken out of the motor vehicle, the point where the interview or the interrogation took place, but we're going to start exactly with the date of the 30th of May. Do you understand?
Sizoqala ke noma uzocela ke ngoba inkantolo sivumileke ukuthi ke ukhombe la owaphishwa khona ke emotweni kwase kukhulumiswana ke nawe sizoqala ke ngalo ilanga la nge-30 ka May.
You can then
so follow with iy'moto zangena la
We appeared from this side. The cars drove in here.
zapaka mala iy'moto zakhona.
This is where the vehicles parked. Where? It's pointing. Come before the vehicles parked here.
How many vehicles
ngiyacabanga
zaziyi-7.
I think there were 7.
So the judge can see what's going on. Thank you.
They made me to sit down here.
Ambusana ngendlela wafike ngayo.
I was cuffed like this. I was seated like this. When I was seated like this is where they would put on the plastic, and I ended up laying down.
So emva kwesikhathi kwasekuvela owavelayo, so lo baba lo ngithi mina ngagcina ngilo ngazigcineni ukuthi uginile, so ye washo uma ngigcina ngibona ngigcina sengibona sekukhona yena la, so ba shift abamela lapha ngasemotweni baba meeting yabo.
And then this particular gentleman, who I later on got to know as Gininda, then appeared. They then moved towards the vehicle. They held a meeting over there.
Okay. Now, this area where we are, will you be able to tell the court what place is this? The name of this place.
Indawo lena esikuyona manje ungakhona yini ukuthi uyitshele inkantolo ukuthi yini igama la le ndawo?
So thina sazi ukuthi indawo eseGosport indawo kamasipala le.
We know it to be the gold spot belonging to the municipality.
From where we are, where's the police station?
Kundawo esikuyona njengamanje ipolice station kuphi nendawo?
Police station la ngemuva.
The police station is right at the back.
Ngoba ngihleli ngibhekele ipolice station la.
As I'm seated facing that direction, the police station is behind me.
Are you familiar with this place?
Uyayazi le ndawo le?
Le ngangakaze ngize ngene la ngaphakathi bengiyazi nje ngokwendlula la ngaphandle estradini.
I've never I never entered the premises. I would just pass over there, but on that day was my first time entering these premises.
So what are you then saying? Are you familiar with the surrounding here, except for the fact that you never got in here?
Ngaphandle kokuthi ungakaze ungene lana kodwa indawo yona lena indawo uyayazi. I'm familiar with the place, with the surroundings.
Okay, thank you.
Sebo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Now.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. That was now where he says he was interrogated. Sorry.
From my understanding, this fencing, was it still here? Can you see the fencing?
Nanjengoba kuvaliwe ke lana kubiyelwe kwakukhona la ngaleso sikhathi.
Lokubi.
Yes.
Kwakukhona.
Yes, my lord.
Were the cars coming in and out?
Ingaba imoto zayingena iphuma?
Ezabe ngahamba lapho.
Specifically the cars I was traveling in.
No, any car.
Nah, akhulunywa ngazo noma yiyo.
Ngaze ngiyibona.
I never saw them.
And lockdown
and during that time it was a lockdown.
Okay. Now, Mr. Sivia, that was the incident that took place on the 30th of May, not so?
Manje ke leso isigameko esenzeka nge-30 zika May yangithi.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you had done with what happened on the 30th, can you please also take us through what happened in the demonstration that you did about the 5th of June 2020, yes.
Nanjengoba uqeda ke ukhombisa ukuthi kwenzekani nge-30 ungakhombisa ukuthi kwenzekani ke ngale ndlela oqeda ukutshengisa ngayo manje ke nge-5 zika June.
Now, just to check your memory, the date of the 5th is the date on which you ended up having had to go and do an alleged pointing out before Lieutenant Colonel Khatebe. Do you still remember that?
Uma ngingakhumbuza ke i-date yange-5 ile date ke bathi ke yona ke wahamba wayokhomba ngayo ke phambi kwakhe uKolonel Khatebe.
Yeah, now remember on the day you were driven direct from Pretoria, from Valeria, so you remember.
Ukhumbuleke ngalelo langa lelo baza nawo ke nibuya ePretoria eValeria.
Yeah, then upon arrival here, how did the car go into the premises, if this is a place that we're talking about on the incident of the 5th stuff?
Uma kuukuthi ke iyona indawo le esikhuluma ngayo isigameko sange-5 zika June, ima ingena ke imoto noma imoto zangena kanjani khona uma kuukuthi iyona indawo le yange-5 zika June?
Yeah, iyo le.
Yes, it is the premises.
Zangena futhi khona lapha zazongena la. So zama khona la futhi.
They once again entered right there, came in through there, and they entered the premises, and once again they were parked over there. And then they made...
noma ngeke ngize ngithi le point lele ngimkulo la. Sasikhona khona la.
Okay. I was then made to alight the vehicle, and I was placed here, although I cannot say precisely that it was this specific place, but this is where I was placed.
Okay, you can then start to demonstrate exactly as you did with what happened on the 30th.
Yeah,
as with regard to what happened on the 5th. As we were taken out of the motor vehicle, how we made to sit down and stuff like that.
Ngendlela oqeda ukutshengisa ngayo usungaphinda ke utshengiseke namanje ukuthi nge-5 kwenzeka kanjani.
Uphinde ngephakathi. Ngangilokho ngilibele ngiboshwe kanje. Angaboshiwe enyaweni. So noma ngeke ngithi la engangihleli khona ngangalela la. So nakhona ngangisho so ngifasiwe. So ngangihlala so lesikhathi babeqala ngaso kwenzani ukufaka iplastic bese beyangishaya.
I was at all times handcuffed, but my feet were not ironed, or there were no leg irons in my feet. And then I was made to sit like this, and as I indicated, handcuffed. And then it was at that time when they then started to put plastic over me and started to assault me. Yeah.
Then the assault went on then after that.
Emuva kokuthi ushaywe ke.
So mabeqeda ukungishaya saye sahamba saye Albertine.
After the assault, we then left and went to Albertine.
Sorry, I agree that with the fact that they building there. Yeah, so there it is. You are from there.
Yes.
Across, there's a fire brigade.
And the lights, Judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Judge. My suggestion
I was not aware that there's a fire brigade building there. I was not aware.
But Judge, my suggestion was, since the photographer is here for orientation purposes, if they can take photos, I don't know, for our orientation, because writing notes also, they will be accurate.
Yes.
The building,
the photographer.
Yes, the fences.
Yeah, may I take photos from that end, showing the precinct. I think there are also, I don't know what this building, building is, whether it's offices or what.
Must I take it with people around?
Yes. Yeah. And just the precincts, the lighting, the lights outside.
maybe as the photographer is preparing to take his photos, I think we need to give this we a space and be here, alone, so that when the photos come, it's perfectly clear.
All right, Advocate Charlton Nisi, who is the legal representative for accused number 1, Muzi Sibiya, asking us.
A plastic bag was put on his face, and of course the assault happened, and then later he then saw a man who he later known to be Brigadier Bongani Gininda. He also had to demonstrate the second day, which the 5th of June, which of course is the date where he indicates that he was also brought to the very same spot to be assaulted. And like I indicated, Stephen, this is interesting because this falls within the period in which he was arrested. This is back in 2020. On the very first date, the 30th of May, you see him demonstrating again there for the photographer from the forensic services who's, taking pictures of how, he was sitting and how that assault unfolded. The 30th of May is the day in which he was assaulted, and of course the 5th of June being just a couple of days, just 5 days in fact, after his arrest to depose that confession statement. These are confession statements that are obviously in dispute and form a big part of his case for why he does not believe that he's the right person. All the evidence that came from his statement, he says, was done under duress. But you'd also recall, Stephen, that it's not only just a confession statement that the state has brought against him. They've also brought a pointings out. This is where he took the police to point out exactly, where he says he was standing, when the alleged crime was committed. We saw the pictures being beamed in court, and these are pictures showing outside the Kumalo home, where he's seen pointing just outside the gate, outside the wall, pointing down, as well as the Basotho hostel. The Basotho hostel is in fact not very far from where we are, it's just down the road. This is where the state alleges that they met before the commission of this crime. You recall that this is one of the places that are in contention, that they never set a foot in. They indicated to the court that even though the phone of accused number 3 may have, hidden an phosphorus, they in fact were never there. They indicated that they were in a different spot, and it's just an issue of the towers and how the phones would pick up those towers. So quite important evidence that the court is hearing today, as of course the state tries to wrap up its case.
The lawyer representing accused number 1, Muzi Sibiya, through his lawyer, indicating that despite aerial photographs that had been, before court, because there had been a difference in the description that was given by the lead investigator and accused number 1, Muzi Sibiya, who is at this location now.
Yes, absolutely, Stephen. You recall that all the other accused, 4 of the 5 accused, are convicted and they're serving sentence.
Aerial photo.
It is only accused number 2, Bongani Mdntv, who's wearing a grey hoodie and black jeans, who is not serving a prison sentence. He's been in custody since he was arrested, and regularly they do come to court because this matter has been sitting for quite some time. It's been quite a number of years that it's been sitting in court, so they get to step out, but not in a setting like this. It is in fact one of those rare occasions where they get to step out in such a fashion. But of course, when you look at things like the dress code, these are things that they're allowed to do. Obviously, you wouldn't see an accused person coming to court in overalls, so they're allowed to dress in civilian clothing, and that's primarily at the heart of what our constitution says, presumed innocent until proven otherwise. So obviously, when they come to court, they come dressed in civilian clothing. But of course, like you indicate, this is one of those rare occasions, and it's one of a few, in fact, the only time that this court has stepped out of the Pretoria High Court to observe, the area and what a particular area looks like. So it is quite an important process, but also one of the first. So obviously it will be treated and given the kind of attention it deserves, but also the kind of the level of security to ensure that the safety measures, all the safety measures are taken into consideration. Let's take a listen in, because it looks like there is some engagement taking place.
Can you not put them on the camera? These guys, they are scared they will be in trouble.
Okay, so we're told that we shouldn't be putting the officials that are engaging the lawyers on screen. Obviously, they don't want their identities revealed as they engage the court. So quite a lot to navigate as we look at what is happening and this particular process unfolds.
This whole place.
Are you through here?
What was this? But could you still be accessed? Yeah, that's what the Let's repeat that.
No, I think for Mr. Sylvia's demonstration, that will be it. Yeah. Remember, this is his version. Yeah, this is his version.
Yeah, but they say...
I think this should be Van Buren. Where's Brigadier?
Very Mare.
Yeah.
And this is Van Buren. This one is Van Buren.
No, this can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Stephen. So,
it's Mark Bierman on the, according to the aerial photograph.
Yeah, according to the it's Bierman Street.
According to the aerial photograph,
yeah.
He notes it was Mark Bierman. This is the main street. And this one? This is the entrance to the municipality.
Yes, yeah, it's just the
But this gentleman says they didn't close this part. They closed only one. This side, because there, the traffic cops, it was always open. That's the same. And the brigade was open. So what was structured here? Just in municipality.
It's just closed because of the
That Daniel fine.
So the traffic department was open. The EMPD. And the process was fire. And it was
Are you through here?
Yeah, it looks like we're through.
Now, Mrs. Bia says, how did you get that side?
Yeah, we just thought maybe we should also go and check out the police station.
Yeah, fine.
What was the question?
Yeah, the judge asked us to what does Mr. Sylvia say? How did he get? I didn't get the judge.
Yeah, he says, how did you get that side?
No, Mr. Sylvia says
he was never taken the side.
No, he
okay,
was
fine.
never taken the
okay,
side.
Fine.
Yeah, everything happens here.
On the 30th.
Oh, on the 30th and the 5th.
The 30th and the 5th, everything happened here.
Yes. We're not really here where we're standing, but there where he was demonstrating.
No, everything happened here, on the 2 occasions.
Yes.
I want to see the secluded place where you were assaulted at. You must stand up.
All right, so the judge there asking, if he was ever taken to the police station, and if ever he was.
Yes. Yes. We're not really here where we're standing, but there where he was demonstrating.
No, everything happened here, on the 2 occasions.
Yes.
I want to see the secluded place where you were assaulted at.
All right, Judge Ratamokgotleng requesting to be taken back to that area where accused number 1, Muzi Sibia, says he was assaulted. We'll go back there. His legal representative clarifying that everything had taken place towards that area where we were, where accused number 1 indicated he was forced onto the floor, and that's when he had been covered with a plastic around his face. And Judge Ratamokgotleng going back towards that area, as we have all 5 of the accused, you would see, under heavy police guard here at this particular stage. And Judge Ratamokgotleng indicating that he wants to be brought back to this particular area. The interpreter just giving an interpretation of what happened on the other side.
We have shown us that the feeling very secluded. It looks like it's an open place, but the court wants to see what is meant by secluded.
The interpreter just explaining to the accused what happened on the other side, where Judge Ratamokgotleng had indicated he wanted to check the parameters of this area in terms of the description that was given by Muzi Sibia in terms of the parameters. He described this as a municipal area. There is a home affairs here. There is a police station around this area. There is also a nearby shopping centre. And just a few meters from where he's standing now, he says, is where he was assaulted, where we saw a bit earlier on a demonstration according to him of how it had taken place on the 30th of May 2020, as well as the 5th of June of 2020. This was, going to be a last resort for the court. You would recall that while Advocate Charles Mnisi wanted this process to take place, let's just go in a bit. All right.
The police station is just behind, so I think we just need to go and check where the police station is.
But I think the judge wanted to find, said he wants Mr. Sibia to show where that secluded area is. Yeah. I don't know whether he must show or he must say why he says this place is secluded. I don't know. We need to get clarification. Whether he needs to show where that secluded area is, or why does he say the spot that he has pointed now, he referred to it as a secluded area.
Yeah, if you can show us, you're sure.
Thank you.
All right. Accused number 1, Muzi Sibia, having described this area as a secluded area. Now, Advocate Charles Mnisi, let's just quickly go in and take a listen.
Now we have demonstrated where you see, we have demonstrated where the incident of the 30th and the 5th of May took place, not so? Yeah, as we've seen here.
Usukhombeleke lokho kwenzeka nge-30 kanye nange-5 ka-June. 30 May ne-5 ka-June, yes.
Now you recall when we presented this evidence, through me, I said you were taken to some sort of a secluded spot where this alleged assault took place. Do you still remember that?
Uzokhumbula ke uma ngabe kuvela ke lokho kushiwo ke lokho ukusho ngami ke ukuthi kunale ndawo ethizeni noma indawo nje eyimele eseceleni owathathwa kanje sokona la kwenzeka khona lokho. Yes.
And now the court the court wants to make a clarification as to why do you refer this area as a secluded area?
Manje ke inkantolo ifuna ke ukuchazela ukuthi kuzocaca ke lokho ukuthi kungani uma ukhuluma ngale ndawo ke ukhuluma ngendawo nje eyimele indawo iseceleni eyodwa nje.
Why do you say this, or you regard it to be this?
Noma ukuthi uyibone kanjalo ukuthi indawo nje eseceleni.
So ngoba ngithi mina indawo eseceleni le esithekile, so ugina indaba ekhomba ngale police station ethi yena sasise endaweni evulelekile police station. So mina ngitshela umnisi le ndawo le ayivulelekile, ayibonakala ukuthi ungabona into ele umuntu ongale uma kuma imoto la akakwazi ukubona ngala.
The reason why I pointed out or referred to this place as being a secluded place is because Brigadier Ninda pointed to the other side where the police station is and said that's where it happened. So I refer to this place because for someone who is up there and there are vehicles parked there, that person won't be able to see what is happening here.
The words that were used, secluded or obscure.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Lama kama ukuthi ke indawo eseceleni noma ke indawo esithekile.
In other words, when I put your version to the state witnesses, I use these words interchangeably. Some spot I would say it looked like a secluded area or an obscured spot. Do you understand?
Uma bengikusho ke lokho kofakazi ke bombuso bengisebenzisa lamagama ke amabili ngithi indawo eseceleni noma ke indawo nje esithekile.
Yona indawo esithekile vela ngoba umuntu ole akaboni makuma imoto la ngathi sithekile vela isikhathi leso maye ngibeke ngaphi imoto zingani umuntu ondlula lapha wayengaboni ngoba la kwangahambi imoto la kwangekho lutho.
It is indeed an obscured place because for someone who is walking up there and there are vehicles parked here, that person won't be able to see anything happening here, and there were no people that were moving here. It was only vehicles here.
I think. Are you? Is there anything that you wish to add, Mr. Speaker?
Ukhona okunye
We've just gone through here now.
Kuloko sekwenzekile ke sesikwenzile lana kukhona okunye ofisa ukuthi ukusho.
Ngicabanga ukuthi kukhona la nje amandla masinga-add singa-add court.
No, I don't think there is. If we were to add, maybe we can add that in court.
Are you satisfied with what transpires?
Wenemeke iloko kwenzekile la.
Ngendlela uma ukuthi size sazobona la engangishayelwa khona. Right.
Yes, I am now fine. For us to have come here at the very same spot where I was assaulted, I'm okay. Who was assaulting you?
Wayekhona nomhula namaphoyisa ama traffic copper.
Mhula was there, traffic officers.
Namalok no Maphumulo.
The likes of Maphumulo.
No but Swashon. No Ngamane babekhona.
The one that is now late, Ngamane, and the others that I cannot remember.
No, thanks. That will be all from our side. When I say from our side, I mean Mr. Sibia's side.
All right, accused number one, Moses Sibia, indicating that the police officers who had been present on the day that he was assaulted, police officers Mkhola, Maphumulo, Ngamane, saying they were part. Let's just quickly listen in again.
That is now a clarification point from the court. The court says approximately how many people were involved. Let's start with the date of the 30th. How many guys or police who assaulted you or were involved in the alleged assault on the 30th?
Asiqale ke ngazo i-30 inkantolo ifuna ke ukuthi kucaceke lokhu ukuthi babe kangaki siqale ngazo i-30 babe bangaki ababe ingcenye yokushaywa kwakho nge-30 zikaMeyi.
Amaphoyisa oke ayekhona nje ayengishaya ngoba ngeke ngize ngithi ubani wayengishaya ngoba ngangivalekela ngangizwa nje ngenduku. So ngikwazi ukuthi ngathi ubani wayengishaya ubani wayengangishaya ubani kodwa nje amaphoyisa oke ayekhona ngangizwa ngenduku.
All the police officers that were present were assaulting me. I cannot be specific and say so and so was assaulting, so and so was not assaulting, but because my face was covered, so all the police were participating in the assault.
Yeah, no, that we understand this way, but the question is if you can put a number on the police who were here. Maybe there were 2, there were 3, there were 4, and we're not saying that you must give us an exact number. It's just an estimation. If you're still able to recall.
Noma kungaba nje uqagela ungasikezi nje uthi cha babethe uma noma ungaqagela nje uthi babe bangaki ababe khona ngalelo langa lelo.
Plus or minus 14.
Plus minus 14.
Amaphoyisa.
Police officers.
Namalo bonke nje bebonke laba begqoke private abegqoke uniform bangibahlanganisa bonke.
All inclusive, if I include all of them, those that were wearing uniform and those that were in civilian clothing.
That will also include the metropolis from everywhere.
Nalaba basekulule nama metro.
Ngibahlanganisa bonke.
I'm including all of them.
Yeah, that is now on the 5th. I mean on the 30th.
School man gave 30 again. Yeah.
And then on the 5th.
Gave 5
of June 2020.
June 2020.
The same exercise.
No, nge-5 babethe ukwehla noma ngasakhumbuli nani labo bayanga kodwa babenge baningi njengaleli langa leli babe kwakuzi 30 ngayo.
On the 5th the number had gone down, although I cannot be specific and say how many of them were there, but the number was not the same as on the 30th. The number was less.
10 plus or minus.
Maybe 10 plus or minus.
Thank you, folks. That's it.
All right, Advocate Charles Leslie representing accused number 1, indicating that the process of the in-loco inspection, it seems will be moving towards the police station.
We can deal with it in court.
I think the lead investigator, Brigadier Bongani Geninda.
How many meters is it to the police station? We can drive them out. Yeah, perhaps, but it's quite a distance. You have to go out. No. You have to drive out of this block, turn right, and then pass the court, and then drive into the police station. That's exactly what we away? No.
It's the next block. I think it's in the same block.
It's in the, yeah. So when this block ends, it's the court, and then it's the police station. But it's a standalone building.
Yeah, Judge, we suggested.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Thank you. All right, we're going to drive towards the police station, which is just a few blocks away from there. And at this particular stage, this is the area that accused number 1, Muzisibiya, indicated he had been assaulted by police on the 30th of May 2020, as well as the 5th of June 2020, indicating a number of police had been involved. He'd been smothered with a plastic bag. We're going to move from this area now to the police station. We're going to try and cut it there for just about a moment as we move towards there. In fact, we'll have to drive towards that particular area. Just take a look. If you look towards that direction there, that is where the accused, surrounded by a heightened police presence. That was the expectation generally of what was expected to take place here today. So we will move from this area and go to the police station now. And this is, of course, part of what accused number 1, Muzisibiya's lawyer, had requested in wanting to indicate or to demonstrate to the court the manner in which he had been assaulted on both of those days. He indicates that some of the police that were involved in the assault on that day were the likes of Sergeant Mahola, Ngamane, as well as Mapumulo, just some of the police officers. But on the 5th of June, he indicates about 10. He says he couldn't really see who had been assaulting him at the time, precisely because he had a plastic which was put over his face. Him indicating that area there is where all of this had basically transpired on those, where that had transpired on those 2 days. So we will move from this area. The accused, in this instance, accused number 1 asked if he was satisfied about what had happened here today. He indicated, yes, indeed, the rest will be ventilated inside court. And you can hear Advocate George Baloy, who is the state prosecutor, just finalizing that this is the central point at which accused number 1, Muzi Sibiya, indicates is where these assaults had taken place. He indicates he was assaulted after he had been arrested. He indicates that he was forced into a confession, given a document just to sign. He did not do it freely and voluntarily, as the state alleges. So in this instance, I think we're just about to wrap up here at this particular location, which was described as the municipal area. Now, a little bit or a few moments ago, there was a question about why accused number 1 said this had been a secluded area. He says once the cars had parked here, no one from the street is able to see what was taking place. Essentially, nobody could have seen what was taking place on those particular days. On those particular days. So we're going to move from this particular side, and the accused will be put into the vehicles that. All right. I think these are the vehicles in which the accused will be put into. And just stay with us live here on the SABC News channel. Some of the accused will go into this vehicle. In fact, you will see accused number 4, Mthokoziseni Mapisa, accused number 3, Mthobisi Mncube, and accused number 5, who is Fisokuhle Ntuli, them being put into this vehicle now. And this is accused number 2 is being taken to this particular direction. He is in this particular car, and we're going to head now towards the police station. And I'll certainly tell you from this particular part, we will move towards that police station. I'll ask you to let us go for just a moment as we proceed to that particular area. In fact, I think we'll move with... Help! All right, we're going to move towards the police station. In actual fact, it does seem like the teams are walking there. I think we'll just move. We will just move with the team. And we understand that at this particular area, Judge Rata Mokwatleng indicating that part of where we needed to head towards was the police station. It's just on the other side of where we are at this stage. So while the accused are being transported in the vehicles, we have Advocate Charles Mnisi, who you will see here is leading. All of this is part of what he had brought before the court, wanting this in loco inspection to take place. Walking alongside, I've got you, walking alongside all right, let's take a look. This is where the accused will be moving from. This is one of the vehicles. Let's take a look. This is one of the vehicles. This one right here in front of me is the one that is carrying accused number 3, accused number 4 and 5, and there's a vehicle which is just behind us, which is carrying accused number 2, and some of the police officers, of course, you would have noticed as well that the lead investigator, Brigadier Bongani Kininda, let's move towards
Let's move with this convoy. You'll see from where we are going. We'll move to the police station now. Right, we're just trying to ensure that from where we are, the cars themselves being taken from this particular direction, and you'll see from where we are here now, we'll enter the police station, which is part of this area, which is a point in question in this matter relating to the assault that accused number 1, Moses Sibiya, says he had suffered.
Yamona utungwisa ke mama mrawana utungwisa yo clases lady yar
check
sure aku sala kama utuma are kan let me take off this shoes are Wait, Linda.
In an hour.
Yeah? As long as I need to change the reason. Now. Let's quickly go to the car.